All right, this is video 9.1, and 9.1 is actually going to be done over two parts. This first part is going to deal with our first learning target. I can find percents using proportions. Our second video will actually answer the second learning target or address it. I can use proportions and percents to find sales price and total cost. The essential question for this video is, when something is 25% off, what does that really mean? It's not, oh, it's less price. What does it actually mean to be 25% off? Our math practice standards are 1, 6, and 8. And we have a few key terms. The first one is cent, and that is 1/100th of a dollar. And we usually think about a dollar being our U.S. money. Our next term is cross product, and that happens to be the product of numbers on the diagonal when comparing two ratios. If you remember, we use cross products to find out if two ratios are proportional. And then percent. We've talked about in class the fact that percent means out of 100, but it's also thought of as a ratio that compares a number to 100. Now let's look at this percent proportion that we're going to be using. It's set up where we have the percent over 100 because the percent is out of 100. And that is equal to the part over the whole. The denominator representing the whole amount, the numerator representing the part. I have two little words out beside of the word part and whole, is and of. And I've done that because in the problems we're going to look at, those words are typically associated with the whole amount or part of the amount. And there are three types of things we're going to use the percent proportion for. We're going to use it to find missing percents, missing parts, and missing wholes. All right, here are our three different ways we're going to use our percent proportion. The first one, we're going to use it to find the missing percent. So the question says, what percent of 50 is 35? So let's figure out what we know and what we don't know. We are looking for the percent because it says what percent. So what I'm going to do in the left side of my ratio or my proportion, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the 100 because I know that is what a percent is out of. And then I don't know what that percent is going to be. So I'm going to let that be my variable x. Then I'm going to look to see. Here's that little word of. There's the little word is. Remember, we said that of goes with the whole, and the whole will go in the denominator. And is goes with the part, and part goes up in the numerator. Now I'm going to jump on the other side here so you can see a little better. What I'm going to do, if you remember, is we've got lots of different ways that we can solve proportions. I can think about reducing them, I can diagonally multiply and then divide, or I can look to see, is there something I can do to go from one number to the other? And in this part, I can actually take 50, multiply it times 2, and get 100. If I do that here, I'm also going to do that in the numerator. 35 times 2, okay, and it is going to give me x being equal to 70, and that happens to be my percent. So I could say that 70% of 50 is 35. Let's move down here to find the missing part. All right, we already know we're going to find 10% of 12. We are given the percent, so it's going to go here. I do not need the percent symbol because I am writing it as a fraction, and that takes care of it. And then I have of 12, of meaning the whole, and then we don't know what the part is. We have no is there. I can't really figure out 12 times something to give me 100, but what I can do is I can multiply the two numbers that are diagonal, which gives me 120, and that is set equal to the product of this diagonal, which is 100x. To figure out what x is, remember we're going to divide by 100. And whenever I divide a number by 100, I basically am moving my decimal 2 places to the left. And so that means that 10% of 12 would be 1 decimal 2, or 1 2/10. Let's go to our last example, and this is where we're going to find the missing whole. 530 is 50% of what number? Well, we know, here's our percent, so we can plug that in. Oops, I told you not to put the percent sign there, and I sure did. Let's get rid of that. We're going to put that over 100. Then we look at what else we have. 530 is, there's that little word that represents the part. Of what number? That's what we don't know. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask myself, maybe I can reduce this. And I can actually, 50 over 100, we know that's the same as 1/2. So I could really rewrite that as 1/2 is equal to 530 over x. And then 1 times 530 would give me 530. 2 times 530 will give me what my x is. And if I double 530, I'm going to write it over here since I've run out of room. X would be equal to 1060.